Hello, good afternoon everyone. Sorry about the glare in my glasses. I am just all set up for the chat room for anybody that has any questions. Today's event, which is called BASECAMP. I will be having a guest coming soon. So hopefully we'll get started soon. And hi to everybody that's popping on. I'm not sure if people that are not a member can go into the chat and ask questions. But welcome. I'm glad everybody's coming to watch. This is awesome. Hi everyone that's joining Understanding Traumatic Brain Injury TBI live event called BASECAMP. I'm just waiting for my guest to pop in, and he needs to request when he comes in. If I see him, I will bring him in. But I can tell you that it's going to be an interesting live. It's one of our moderators that joined. So I'm just waiting to see him if he comes in. So welcome. I see all the highs, the hands up, looking down at the screen. I see, because I have my chat down here. Oh, thank you, Rachel. Sorry, I can't say your name. Have a great day at your job. Hi, Brian and Matthew and Kathy and all the ones that are joining. It's good to see everybody joining in, all these members. I just realized that I could invite all the members to the chat, and they could be part of it, ask questions. How do you interact with the chat and watch the live at the same time? I'm not sure how Facebook does it. I think you might have a chat in. I think there's a chat included in here. Yeah, there is a chat included in the live. Because I just read your question. But I have my iPad for the chat so I can see who's coming in and questions being done. Also, I see it on my screen. So for some reason, if it doesn't go on there, it will go there, vice versa. So I'm trying to get better at this. I'm just waiting for my buddy to come in. And let me just see if he's having difficulty. Oops, wrong screen. I'm a one-woman show, I guess. Ah, he's having some issues. No problem. I can do some other things while I wait for a guest to come in. Oh, I'm so sorry, Kathy. I just read your comment. Yeah, it's a difficult time. Kathy, I just read your comment, and you're a warrior too. Being a caregiver, you are a warrior too. We're all in it together. I might as well go over the reason. The mission of the group is to bring awareness, education, support, mostly support to survivors and caregivers. Oh, he's here. I'm in there, but it won't let me into the video. David, if you can request to come in. Let me see. Oh, I got you. Huh. That's interesting. Leave it to technology. I see you on the screen, David, but I can't. David, you might have to go into he's here, but it won't let me into the video. I don't know why it won't let him into the video. Okay. Okay, I'll get to some of your questions. I'm just waiting for, see if our guest can come in. You might have to go into the video, the event itself. I'm keeping an eye out for, oh, there he is. Did it work? Did it work? There you are.
Hi, everybody. Sorry about that.
No, not a problem. It Facebook.
You gotta love technology, right?
Yeah. So welcome in.
Thank you.
I was just telling them about the mission of the group, and I want to go over some stats and stuff. The leading causes for TBI, I already posted on the Facebook group, that big wheel, and we know that number one is falls, 40.5%, I believe, and there's unknown ones, which could be anything. I'm not sure what they mean by that. Struck against, like being hit in the head with something with force, motor vehicles, but there's sports, firearms, explosives, shaken baby syndrome can cause TBI.
Yep.
And a new one that I heard even from Paul Phrase that was on before is emotional trauma and PTSD.
Yep.
Which now has my mind going for another info video, which people who know me, I research, and it'll be researched and another video.
So you know what, Sue? We might have to do another live like this down the road, because that's something I struggle with on a daily basis as well. Emotional trauma is something that is very hard to get over. Not get over, because trauma is one of those things that you never get over. You just learn how to live life as you go through life with it. And that's something that is a big, big challenge in today's society, especially with us survivors with mild traumatic brain injuries and the severe traumatic brain injuries.
Yes, definitely. So, everyone, this is David, our new moderator. How do you pronounce your last name? I don't want to murder it.
I actually, I do this all the time, especially when I take the stages around the country, and my business coach and my brother, Michael Faber, I think he does this on purpose, and he still says my last name wrong. I'm actually going to challenge you. I want to hear how you say it, Sue.
Vrablik?
You're close. It's actually Vrablik.
Okay, I'm close. Good.
You're close. It's Czechoslovakian, so it's not an easy last name to say.
No. I looked at him like, how do I say his name?
Yeah, you're good. I had an English teacher back in my junior year of high school that said I spelled my last name wrong. It should be L-I-C and not L-I-K. And I told her, if you want to go back a few hundred generations and talk to my family that had the last name, by all means, go tell them, but don't tell me. So.
Wow. So where do we begin? Where do we begin? You are an entrepreneur,
Yes, ma'am.
an author, a motivational speaker. You want to talk about your experience with TBI first?
Yeah, yes, ma'am, absolutely. But I will say this at first. I did fail on my homework assignment, Sue. I did forget my book.
That's okay.
I was supposed to bring my book and have it here on camera, but a very good friend of mine, who's actually a part of my team, he's the director of events and logistics, uh, invited me to a Broncos game this afternoon, and so that's why I'm sitting in my truck and I'm not in front of my computer at home. But I got started in this journey back in 2018 on April 19th, and it was after, sadly, the passing of my older brother. And my
Oh,
brother passed away um,
sorry.
at the. Thank you so much, Sue. I appreciate that. He passed away at the age of 39 from an aortic dissection, and with his passing, that forced me to realize I wasn't living my life the way I wanted to live it, right? I was a clone of my parents.
Mm-hmm.
I was living my life. I was driving the same truck as my father. I even owned almost the same type of house. And I wasn't really authentically living my life the way I wanted to. And then on March 19th, 2022, I was working for a company in the local Parker area and finished my rounds for the day. And because that they didn't clear out the parking lot from a heavy snowstorm that we got, this is typical Colorado weather. We get a foot of snow one day and then it's gone a day and a half later.
Mm-hmm.
And I was driving a school bus for special needs students, and I stepped out of my school bus, and next thing I remember, I woke up on the ground, confused, dazed,
Wow.
looking at at the under chassis of the bus. My head was throbbing, killing me. I didn't know what happened. My vision was all screwed up, and if I remember correctly, the day is a blur to me. A lot of this was pieced together from my parents, fortunately, but I managed to build the strength up, and I got up, and I was able to stumble back into the office to turn everything back in. And after going through everything and going to ICU at the hospital, which I spent a few days at, I later found out a month later, because of the impact that my head had on the concrete with hitting my head back on the concrete, I knocked myself out for over 20 minutes. And
Wow.
I thank God every day that I woke up, because here I am, and I was overweight at the time. I wore, and I still wear, my director's sitting right next to me right now. He would tell you that I wear basketball shorts all the time, even in snow, and hoodie. And here I am laying on the ground, knocked out, shorts and a hoodie. And some reason I woke up. A month later, found out because of the impact I had 3 brain bleeds. 2 on the frontal lobe, on the front here,
Mm-hmm.
and 1 on the side. My brain basically did a ricochet effect where, because of the impact, it bounced forward
Yep.
and it bounced sideways. And I've got permanent scarring on the front of my brain and on the side. And because of this impact, a month later, I later found out, because I kept having burning sensations in the back of my skull and I couldn't figure it out, and it kept concerning me, right? I went to my neurosurgeon and we decided to go do an MRI. And the MRI people said, we need you to go back into the machine and we need to do it like a 5-10 extra minute scan.
Mm-hmm.
And they sent me right back to the neurosurgeon. The neurosurgeon said, we need you to go back for a more special MRI. And what they found was my cerebral tonsils, because of the impact, dropped to 4 millimeters. So they were poking
Mm-hmm.
through the base of my skull.
Oh, wow.
And basically what they told me was that was fatal. And they thought they were going to have to jump into action. Within 3 days,
Mm-hmm.
the tonsils went back up. And I still don't understand. A friend of mine told me I was like a cat. And I used up 5 lives by the time I was 39, 40 years old. And I
Wow.
decided within that moment that I was going to do whatever it took to use my story. And I still struggle with it, friends. I stumble over my words constantly. I take medications for slurred speech, for mini seizures. At the end of the day, I don't drink as much as I used to, like I did before the accident. I was never a heavy alcoholic, but after one drink, it sounded like I was drunk as a skunk.
And wow,
And
it does
yeah,
affect people.
it does. And I started taking this medication, and being a motivational speaker and taking the stage, I really struggled working with this new side of me and giving and getting my point across to the people in the audience.
Mhm.
And that's where everything started from my traumatic brain injury.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And you're doing a great job getting your word out there.
Thank you.
And I see your comments in your motivation towards people in the group and everything. So that's why I made you a monitor, a moderator.
I
I stumbled.
appreciate you having me.
I appreciate having you. Um, the group has been growing. If you haven't noticed,
Yep.
we hit 5.2K, and let me see. Here's something interesting. We're 118% increase in views, and there's Facebook does the breakdown, and I was like looking at it this morning, like, oh, gee, I wonder how many new people or whatever, but they broke it down to women and men. There are 77.3% women that are members and 22.7 male members. I was like, but the 118% increase, I was like, oh. So, and I've made the comment that, I made the comment to someone that I'm not here just to help that you guys are helping me at the same time. So it's a give and take thing. When I don't feel, when I feel life is just like bull, I read your comments, I read your stories, and I'm like, no, life isn't. Life is it's a journey. It's a journey, and that's how we should take it, as a journey. Now, let's talk about your organization. Tell me about it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. So, after the death of my brother, I decided that I wanted to do more with my life because my life has been a challenge ever since 1984. I've had 24 surgeries throughout my life, and I wanted to do something unique and do something different. And it was confirmed after making it through the TBI side of things. New Beginnings Motivation stands for those who don't feel like they are heard, and we are the beacon during dark times for those. We want
Mm-hmm.
to give you guys your voice where you are heard, and it all starts within the base camp of a mountain. I don't know how many of y'all are here. I know a lot of people don't live in the Colorado area or have visited Colorado, but I've been in this state nearly 30 years. And it's ironic that I share this because two of the guys on my team just turned 30. One of the guys just turned 31 back in November. So when I moved here, he was only 1 year old. But base camp stands for where you can prepare to dream and get out of the funk, get out of the darkness, and get ready to rise and reclaim and reinvent your life. And that's what New Beginnings is all about, even for those of us who have suffered a traumatic brain injury and a mild traumatic brain injury. It takes a lot of work, my friends, but I promise you, when you reach that summit, it is an amazing feeling when you get there. Yes, it is, Jennifer. We are located in Colorado. My office is based down in the Parker area, and we do virtual and live events around the Denver area. And we also go outside of Colorado as well. And if anybody wants any information, we can tackle that at the end of the call. But we encourage everybody to forge new paths. But it's not only for the TBI survivors, it's also for the caretakers.
Mm-hmm.
The caretakers also need to be able to shine as well, because it takes a lot of work for the caretakers to be able to help us, the survivors, to be able to reclaim and to awaken certain part of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's parts of us that go dormant. For those who were and are close in my life, saw parts of me get shut down because
Mm-hmm.
I was depressed. I was angry because of what happened to me. And I'm not an angry person. Okay? And all of us have the divine right to be able to begin again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what New Beginnings Motivation stands for. We're going to give you the tools, the strategies, and we're going to work with you and be alongside with you in the trenches to make that happen. Where you're going to get to the summit and you'll see the views from up there. And then you're going to see higher peaks. And then you're going to want to climb even higher peaks. And then when our time is up and God is ready to bring us home, we can say that Bible verse where we have finished the race and we're ready to go home.
Mm-hmm.
And what New Beginning stands for. We champion the underdogs to rise, reclaim, and reinvent.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm a caregiver. I've learned not to just say I'm a caregiver. I'm a caregiver. I'm the advocate. If you're a caregiver, you're the advocate of that person that suffered the TBI. They're relying on your brain to work for them.
Yep.
Right now, I'm in a battle with wonderful workman's comp for my husband's medication. We go through this every time there's a change. They're supposed to cover it, whether they like it or not. But it's a never ending. Anybody that's gotten injured with workman's comp know the routes that you have to go through just to get what you need.
So, if I may, I do have a contact that I might be able to get you in connection with that I do think she has some experience with that. And she's a wonderful human being. I met with her back in March for the first time. She bought one of my copies of my book. I want to connect with her first to make sure I'm giving you the right resource. But she has a beautiful heart, beautiful soul. I'm going to reach out to her tomorrow to see if this is a resource that she can help you with, and see.
Okay, I appreciate
it. And see what she can do for you, because yes, Jennifer, that I might be able to help you with that as well. I just have to see what her availability is and stuff like that. So let me see what her availability is, and we might be able to help you with that, because I was in the workman's comp situation. It was a very difficult time for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so let me see what I can do to help with that.
I do have my husband's lawyer working on it. So
good.
Yeah, that's the first thing I do is he says, anytime you have an issue, send me an email. Send him an email.
Yep.
Here we go again.
Yep.
I forgot what number now.
No, I get that.
It's a shame because this is a legit injury. MRIs don't lie, CT scans don't lie. This is a disability for some.
Yep.
Not for all, but for some.
Yep.
Some people can overcome depending on what their therapies are or their support systems are, the treatments. Every head injury is different. Yep. And I always like to share this in any of my lives. How a trauma doctor explained it to me is the most wonderful way he explained it to me in simple format. You have your computer, it crashes. when you reboot it up, some software comes back fine, 100%. Some not so all the way up. And then there's some that don't connect. And that's how he presented traumatic brain injury to me. And
Yep.
I think that's a good scenario for people to understand what it is. There's different kinds, mild, moderate, and severe. It goes by a glow scale on your responses and everything. I have videos of information of that. Now let's talk about your book.
Yes, ma'am. I thank you so much for letting me share this. Has always been a dream of mine, I think, for the last 10 or 15 years, to be able to write this book, because I've had people in my life tell me I would never be able to do this, but the dream became a reality back in April 19th, 2024, and I picked that date because that was the 6-year anniversary of losing my brother. And BASECAMP, The Start of a New Beginning, is the name of the book, and it is a biography based on my life, on how I overcame obstacles that started back in 1984 with open heart surgery, to losing my brother, to the mild traumatic brain injury. And I take people through how to overcome obstacles and to create a legacy that will last for generations to come, and how I overcame the mild traumatic brain injury to be able to write the book.
Mm-hmm.
And I talk about how I don't trust my brain anymore. And instead of trusting my brain, I trust my heart. And if my heart is in line with my brain, then I know it's the right decision.
Right.
Any decision that I make in life now, if my brain is telling me that I need to go do something, I don't do it right away. It's either I go talk to my buddy Joe, who's with me today, that's going to the Bronco game, or my cousin Missy, who's like my big sister. She's always been like that. Or my buddy Michael Faber, my business coach. I talk to them about it, and if it feels right in my heart and soul, then I make the decision. And that's when BASECAMP became a reality. And I take you through my life, starting from BASECAMP, embrace change, reflecting on past experiences, and how to correlate that from chapter 1 through chapter 16.
Mm-hmm.
And it helps you to be able to create that new beginning within your life. And it took me over a year, y'all, to be able to write this book. And I had to change the publisher and editor halfway through the book, because he was just not doing what was right by me. And I won't say, I didn't trust how things were going, and I came in contact with a beautiful soul that understood my brain injury and helped me through it. And I got to where the book is on Amazon now, and it's available. And to see BASECAMP changing people's lives through my life story, through Joey's life story, that's my brother's name, it's a beautiful thing. And it's just a powerful moment when people come up to me and talk to me about what BASECAMP means to them. And it's a testament to my brother's life and his legacy.
I'm just reading some of the comments in the chat that I set up. They allow you to have a chat. And a lot of people are sharing their amazing stories on here. I'll leave them so that you can read some of them, read through them.
Thank you.
All of you that are caregivers, a lot of them are caregivers that are telling me about their TBI survivors, or should I say heroes.
Yes, they are.
I'm a firm believer that things happen for a reason. We may not know what it is at the time, but growing up, my sister had a severe head injury. She survived it. She's alive and kicking to this day. I saw her last night. And it was a reminder to me why I started doing helping people with disabilities, for one. I have a degree in uh, associate's degree in developmental disability technology, which in turn, I wanted to do something with kids, early intervention, which brought me into special education. I worked with profoundly handicapped children for 4 years. Then I needed a better income, so I had to leave the field to help my parents out. Then I worked in retail. I don't know how I survived for 16 years. Then I went back into the field after my son. And I ended up in an ABA program, which was set up to help treat TBI patients. Little did I know that it would come full circle with my husband's injury. So, and like I said, and when I motivated, that came out of my head, and I'm using it. Yes, our lives go into full circles, which you learn within that circle of experience that you can bring forth to other people.
Yep.
I look back at the video and I said that. So now I use it because it's true. Because when you come full circle, you have all those experiences that got you to the end of that circle that you can bring forth to other people, to help other people. I was that kid that was on the playground as a little kid. I would see somebody fall and I would be the first kid there to see if the kid was all right. That's how I met one of my best friends in kindergarten. We've been friends for years. It's just, it's what we bring to other people. So where do we take this group?
We need to take this group, in my opinion, Sue, to that everybody from the survivor standpoint to understand that this is only a season that we're stuck in, friends. Even when the dark times and the pain and the migraines and the headaches and the nausea, the dizzy spells, it's only a season. And that we need to stay consistent and we need to stay diligent on our rehab, and we need to rely on a higher power. We need to believe that we are going to get better. There were so many times that I would lay in bed in tears as my head was just seizing up. It felt like my brain was lifting weights. It would pulsate. It would get so intense that I couldn't even stand up. There were times I could not leave the darkness of my room, and it messed with my psyche. And when I would go radio silent from my friends, that they would reach out to me. Michael Faber from Delaware, Joe from, he lives in Greeley now, Nathan from Parker. They would reach out to me when they wouldn't hear from me for 2 or 3 days. We need to stay diligent on the rehab. And I promise you, my friends, I'm 3 years out from my injury, and I don't have it all together. I still have my days, but I still push through it because I know I have a purpose in this life. It's not worth holding on to the anger and the frustration. That's going to tear us down. And I don't know who here believes in God and stuff like that, but God didn't. There you go, Sue. God didn't create us to be angry, to be vengeful. God created us to be here to have a purpose, to have to be a living testament, to share our stories. And I promise you that when you stay consistent and you keep pushing, that not only will give you hope, that's going to give your caregivers hope. That's going to inspire thousands and millions to keep pushing. And when people don't understand what we are going through, that's the validation that we are seeking. As long as we know deep down in our hearts that we're doing everything possible to make ourselves better, and there are people out there that just don't understand, we love them from a distance, but we keep those who understand close to our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
And we just keep pushing.
Mm-hmm.
And just know that the team here within this group, with Sue at the head of us, we know you, we feel you, we understand what you're going through. We will be there for you. And when you put up an alarming, concerning message that I see before I approve it, it goes right to the top.
And the top takes it.
Exactly. There was a situation that we took care of someone.
Mm-hmm.
And I promise you, you will not be alone.
Mm-mm.
So let's get the people in the group to collaborate. Let's talk to each other. I've noticed one thing in the group, that we need to love on each other. We need to support each other. We need to rise that up. Don't be silent. Become loud.
And the other thing, you mentioned one 4-letter word, hope.
Yep.
As long as there's hope, there's life. And
Yep.
I never give up on hope. And I saw the power of prayer in the crucial time of my husband's TBI. So many people were praying and praying, and he's still here. He's going through
Yep.
a difficult time right now, but it's part of the territory. And I did have a mild concussion, so I suffer from migraines myself. So I get it. I get the migraine thing. The weirdest thing is when I got COVID, I had the worst migraine I have ever had in my life. It intensified it 10 times. I locked myself in a dark room with even something over my eyes, so it would be completely dark because the light just killed my head. And finally, within 4 or 5 hours, it was gone. But it was painful. So I get what you're saying about the pain.
Yeah. And
It's
then, yeah, thank you, Sue. And then, finally, in closing for my end, Sue, and then if you have any questions for me, I'll be happy to answer. It's something that I teach on when I do master classes or within my private group of my organization or live events. Is I have an acronym broken down on faith: forgiveness, awareness, inner strength, trust, and hope. You follow those 5 principles. Do you need to forgive yourself or someone in your life? Are you holding on to something as you're recovering from your TBI? Do you have the awareness to be able to keep pushing forward if you're stuck in that depression? Trust your inner strength and have hope. I promise you, my friends, you follow those 5 principles, you're going to be able to begin to heal faster than you will ever think. When I was able to forgive where I used to work for them not taking care of the parking lot, when I was holding on to the vengeful, the anger, and the frustration that caused this injury that's going to be with me for the rest of my life, and that I was aware of that, and that I could trust my inner strength, and that I could have the hope that I could build my organization, because I thought my organization would die that day that I was laying on that cold, hard ice. When I was able to forgive, my life changed. So, are you going to be able to forgive? Are you going to be able to trust your inner strength? And do you have that hope?
You can even use that for caregivers too.
Yep.
Especially those that, like my husband's situation, got hurt at work. You got to forgive those that didn't believe you or him that there was something wrong, and still continues to be something wrong.
Yep.
His story plays out like a movie. You wouldn't believe the stuff that happened. I started to write a book, but then this group imploded, so it's on the back burner. I have chapter 3. I don't know if I will eventually write that book, because being a caregiver, watching your loved one going through what they were going through affects you too. in your
Yep.
family. It affected my daughter. If somewhat affected my, I want to say affects him. He's like me. He deals with it and then he moves forward. He
Yep.
can move forward and deal with the situation at hand. My daughter, not so much. She has mental health issues now, so we deal with that too.
I
But
get that.
it does affect everyone. And yeah, you're going to have personality changes. You're going to have everything that David has said, and you got to work through it. And using his steps, I think, and no, I know they will help you. I've had to learn to forgive them for not, you know, believing that, because there was a rumor going around that he was making his effects up, and he wasn't. And I said, CT scans don't lie, and neither do MRIs.
Yep.
There.
Yep.
So,
Well, you said two things to me, and I can't help but do this. And since we're on a live in your
go ahead.
group, so being a coach and being a motivational speaker, I can't help but do this. But you said something about starting to write a book and that it's on the back burner. And you and I typically talk throughout the week and every other day and stuff. I'm gonna start stoking that fire a little bit about you getting back to work in your book because you're doing an amazing job with this group and everything and changing people's lives. I mean, you changed my life in so many ways by letting me come into the group and being and serving the group and doing what I love to do. But it's an amazing thing doing what you're doing with the group. But you also need to get your message out even further. So I'm gonna at some point we're gonna have a chat. My gal that helped me with my book, she is Deb Smart. She's one smart lady. That's actually the name. She is a smart lady, but that's the name of her organization. She's phenomenal, strong Christian woman, and she's a go-getter. I'm going to introduce you to, and I may give you a choice on this. I may not. I don't know. And we're going to go from there because writing a book is not only getting your message out, but it's also healing. Being able to get your words on paper and getting it out to my public. And really quick, I'm just reading this. I didn't catch that. I'm going to take a look at some of these comments, my friends, this evening when I get back to the house, and I'll do my best to message each and every one of you. I saw something about I can't, and I understand that, Maurice. It takes time. But I would love to have any conversations with anybody after this live is done. I'm always here, and Sue knows how to get in touch with me. And I'm here to serve you guys just like I am to serve you. But Sue, we're going to talk about this book thing, okay? Okay? We're going to talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
But Sue, this was a phenomenal opportunity. And this is just, I love doing this. Especially kicking off 2025. There's been a lot of challenges that have already presented us in 2025. Let's eliminate fear and let's replace it with hope and new beginnings for everybody. And let's start climbing to the top of the mountain. And Jennifer wants you to talk with her. So, okay? Everybody, Sue, do you have any comments or questions for me?
Hold on a sec. I just want to write Jennifer's name down to remind me because I have too many people in my brain. When you have,
I know. I keep thinking that Joe's name is Susan. I don't know why.
huh?
Oh, my buddy next to me. I'm teasing him. He's taking a nap.
What? I'm trying to think of what I did have a question. I'm trying to get it back into my brain. What is the most important message you can give anybody?
The most important message that I can give anybody is just keep going. Just keep going. Be consistent. even in the toughest of days, there are going to be days that you want to quit or you just don't want to get out of bed. Keep going. Keep rising above the ashes. Keep reclaiming your life. Because even though it may seem daunting right now, all of us are at the most amazing part to be able to reinvent our life to where we can awaken parts of our lives and create the legacy that we want to leave behind. It's more than just about having kids, raising them, and watching them go off into the world. It's the principles that we teach them. It's the values that we teach them. Keep going. Don't quit. Never give up. And just keep pushing. Like I said earlier, we all have the divine right to begin again. Embrace change with open arms. Don't resist it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you resist it, you're going to have a lot of regrets. And at the end of the day, when our number's called, and we're all on our deathbed, do you want to look back in life and wish that you did this and wish that you did that? Or do you want to go, I did everything that I wanted to do, and I overcame that annoying TBI 40 years ago, or 30 years ago, or 20 years ago, and I overcame it. We can all overcome it, y'all.
Yeah.
Even if it's depending on whatever level we're at. You've got this. The time is now. Don't wait till tomorrow.
I'm just responding to the people that have in the chat. There's a lot of comments there. So I thank them and that I will look at each and every comment. So I have a very busy evening tonight.
So will I.
I try to any new comments and stuff, I try to look at them, new members that join. If I like it or I give you a hug one, it means I've seen it. I try to see everyone's, but because it's getting so big, it
takes time.
Yeah, I might need to get more moderators. I might need some to help with my lives too, because it makes it easier with somebody that can read the comments. Because I'm a one-woman show.
Oh, I know that feeling. I'm a one-man show right now on my team. I mean, I have my 2 team members, but they're not always on Facebook, which is because they're busy and stuff like that. So when I do the lives and the virtual events, it's all me. So, you know, I get it. So, and everybody, it's the same for me. When I heart it, it means that I read it, and I will get back to it.
Oh, okay.
Look at you, see?
Get the word out, and somebody's interested. I mean, I'm sorry that I look like a home improvement guy over the fence neighbor.
What was his name?
Wilson.
You remember the guy's name from Home Improvement with the Wilson?
I look like Wilson when I'm looking at the comments because my phone is like right in front of me, and then I have my iPad down below, and then I have my notes over on this side. So it's like a makeshift, and I have my chai tea with my dog. I'm surprised you do not. She's not whining at the door, the puppy. She follows me everywhere I go, and if I'm not in sight, she whines. I'm surprised.
That's like my 2.
I'm going to give her an extra cookie because she didn't bother me.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So, in wrapping up, I don't know what to say other than thank you for coming on and sharing your story, your organization, and your book. And being
go ahead. I got to tell you, Sue, this was a amazing opportunity. I love what you have built here. This group is very well needed for all of us who have been a victim of TBI, and also for the caregivers, because it does take a toll on them. I've seen what it has done to my two parents in the last 3 years, and to my friends who have had to really step up and help me with the organization during live events and stuff like that. Um, and truly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for building this organization, this movement. So let's stop calling it a group. This is your movement. You have built a movement to support and love the TBI community, and it's only going to get bigger. And the way it gets bigger is by you building your team, like myself and others, to be able to support you, because you think this is big, just wait. It's going to get bigger. And you have done an amazing job.
I'm preparing for that because I never expected it to get this big. I'm happy that it's getting that big because that means it's getting out to people that need it. And it's a needed group. And that's why I continue to do it. Because one thing I can say to people, if you see someone in a store and they're yelling, don't judge them, because they could be a person that's dealing with something within themselves. They could have TBI or a mental illness. Don't judge them. Just walk away. Don't say anything. Because I've witnessed a few things. My husband is not the best person to go to Costco with. He loses his mind. And I usually just redirect him. Oh, look at this, hun. Because I know I can see him getting, if you have a loved one that has trouble with crowded people, crowds and stuff, be patient with them because it's overstimulating them. Find something that works for them to bring that agitation level down. And if you have, my husband goes through high anxiety when he goes to a new doctor. Try to incorporate something that's relaxing to them. They love listening to music. Put their favorite song on. Let them have an earbud in their ear playing their music. Anything to keep them calm. Because you're not going to get anywhere with the visit if they're all agitated. So, what kind of puppy do I have? She's a rescue, a year-old Cataluna leopard mix. I don't know what the mix is, but she's 22 pounds, probably now close to 30. She's a mid-sized dog. She has ice blue eyes. I'll put a picture of her on the group. She's actually filling a void in our, can't fill this void. She's not replacing one dog. She's opening our hearts to another part of our heart for her. Because it was my mother's dog that I had to put down, and I lost my mother in June. So it was like a double whammy for us. And I believe animals are the best support system ever as far as healing, because they just bring so much love and conditional love, and they're accepting of you no matter what you are. So
I agree. And with that, Sue, I'm going to sign off, if that's okay. My buddy and I are going to go meet up with some friends at the Broncos game. And everybody...
I'm jealous.
I know. I wasn't expecting this. He surprised me he called me up, I think it was on Friday or Thursday, and said, hey, you want to go to a Broncos game? I used to go to games. I had season tickets. My last game was the 2015 AFC Championship game when the Broncos won the Super Bowl. You're very welcome, Jennifer. So this is my first game back, so I'm excited. But everybody, seriously, from the bottom of my heart, if you need anything, I'm with Sue 100% with her movement. But from the New Beginning side of things, if you need any support, if I may offer this out to you, do I have your permission before I do this?
Yes.
Okay. If you need any help or anything from creating a new beginnings, wanting to rise, reclaim, reinvent, anything in your life, anything like that, I'm here to serve you in any way. BASECAMP is available on Amazon. It's not expensive whatsoever. It's a great read. I know I'm biased because I wrote the book, but I would love for you guys to just, create hope in your life, and I do strongly believe that this book can do that. And Sue, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you again
Oh,
for this. And
you're welcome.
let's
And
do.
thank you.
You're very welcome. Let's do more of these, and let's serve the family. And much love to everybody. Happy New Year, and boo the Chiefs. I hope Kristen Martin sees this, but boo the Chiefs. Go Broncos!
Have a good game. Enjoy.
You too. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye now. So that ended up with my wonderful guest, David, who was very informative, and I'm very pleased that he's part of the team on here on Understanding Traumatic Brain Injury, TBI. I did do a poll. I did check it, and I was thinking of moving my lives to YouTube, but it seems like everybody likes it more on Facebook, probably because everybody can have access to it. So for now, I think I will keep my lives on Facebook. I would like to do more. So if anybody is interested in joining me in a live and want to express their feelings, emotions, or experience, or if there's an organization that has joined in the group that would like to share their organization, or if you have a book, you're welcome to contact me and we'll work out some time frames. I like to do all my lives on Saturday or Sunday because I work during the week. I work for Center of Development. Oh, I better not even say it. We'll just scratch that. Where I work, because I have to get permission to say their name probably. But I work in the mental health field as an administrative assistant. I can tell you that. So I appreciate everybody's questions, comments. I will leave the chat open to anybody that wants to share their stories, because I'm seeing a whole bunch of them. There's so many going through, and I thank you for sharing. Sharing is caring, as they say, and sharing your experience may be helping somebody else that might be dealing with a situation with their TBI. I noticed a lot of people reaching out to people, helping people. And I'm also reaching out to people whenever they need. I will continue to do that at the best ability that I can. I do work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, but I do check throughout the day when I can, because you guys mean a lot. To go through a TBI it can be very daunting and hard, but we're here. We're fighters. We're warriors. We're survivors, including caregivers. We're a different kind of people. And I think on that note, I think I'm going to end this live and wish everybody a happy new year, and may hope always shine in your life. Have a great day. Thank you for joining us, and we'll do more. Take care.